Hello, 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 everyone. Hey, Moses. Hey, Lollipops, Gumdrop. I like that name. Welcome, 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 everybody. Today we're talking all about how to deal with objections. Let me go ahead and pause this. All right. All right, you all. As always, I'm your favorite public speaking coach, LaShow, and we are talking all about the biggest thing that we run into as business owners when someone tells us no. How do we deal with objections? And of course, we know we have the pitch it way to do things. So, as always, we're going to be together for a good time, not a long time, just going through some key steps and components when it comes to dealing with objections when we're dealing with different potential clients and customers. Now, the biggest thing to understand is, and let's set the foundation. You are in front of your ideal consumer, whether this is a networking event or an actual consultation, and you have just pitched your best pitch ever. Okay. You know it's one of your best pitches because you practiced it. You've researched your audience before you've gotten into them. If you've been to my previous lives, you know that's something that we talk about on a regular, consistent basis. And now here you are saying, hey, here are the next steps. Okay. Now, one, you have to be prepared for people to object. An objection doesn't necessarily mean no flat out. It might mean that they're saying no to your initial offer or no to the idea of a certain aspect, okay, of what it is that you have going on, whatever it is that you're offering them. You want to make sure that you're listening to what they're saying to say, is this a strong no? Or is this potentially just a concern that's being raised? And before you have even met with this audience or this client, this potential client, you should understand what concerns might they have. For instance, if you're selling a high ticket item, some people might have concerns about payment, which means that maybe you've already thought about payment plans in the whole yard. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are able to build trust with these individuals, which you should have done previously. You don't pitch anything without having already built some type of trust. Build credibility, and that your brand is strong enough to where it speaks for itself. I'll give an example. Sometimes when clients meet with me or potential clients meet with me, they tell me by the time I get done with my presentation, I already knew I wanted to work with you because they've already followed me for a while. So having that credibility helps you when it comes to your pitch. Okay. Now, when they are telling you whatever their concerns might be, you want to listen actively. Okay. You want to make sure that you acknowledge their actual concerns, that you're showing genuine understanding. Okay. And that then you actually relate to their concerns as well by talking about maybe a personal experience, because sometimes when people see you, they may not realize you're a human too. Yes, you're running the business. Yes, you might be in a certain position that they view you in, but you didn't wake up and just jump into this role. You worked your way to this. So, whatever concerns they might have, are you able to relate to them? And not just relate to them from your own standpoint, but do you have clients you worked with that have been in similar positions to them that you can say, hey, this actually is something a client has struggled with. Here's how we worked on it. Okay. Now, if someone is just like, this just won't work for me, the classic tactic is to actually reframe that thought process, because you're listening to what they're saying, but you want to listen for what is the undertone? What are they not saying? Is there a fear that they're not acknowledging? A lot of times when it comes to spending money, the fear is, oh my goodness, if I spend this $3,000, this $5,000, this $1,000, am I really going to see a return on my investment? And that might be a mixture of not having full trust in you, but also not having full trust in themselves and their own talent. So when you hear them giving these objections, you need to be able to streamline to identify what are they actually saying. Okay. This will allow you to actually identify what they're talking about, but also respond adequately. That means the success stories, the relatability stories, whatever it might be. Okay, you're going to have all of those different things coming into the room. Hey, Glenn. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Glenn. Share this live, you all. If you're getting good information, share this live. The biggest aspect of everything, you all, when you're dealing with objections is listening actively to hear what they're truly saying, being able to reframe it back to them, and having actual evidence that can actually quell whatever it is that they're feeling inside. This is why everything you do before the pitch is so important. Why your page and your news articles need to be up to date. Why you should have active reels showing yourself speaking as a credible expert in your field. All of that should be done before you even get to the pitch. If the foundation is not there, what are you pitching for? The trust is not going to be there. The credibility is not going to be there. You have to be able to show that you are actually an expert in this field. Now, when it comes to the brand within itself, how do you ensure that your brand is in such a place that it limits the idea of objections as well? One is knowing your audience. Who are you talking to explicitly? Who is it that you're focused on? Because when you know your actual audience, you know their pain points, and you also know their objections before they even arise. If you know you are normally working with startup companies, a lot of times startup companies may need access to funding and they may not have that access right away. Do you have something in place that will help give them that access that will now quell that objection from even taking place? Okay. You also want to make sure that you craft a strong value proposition. Sometimes, and everyone has struggled with this at some point, sometimes it's literally not that they don't want to work with you, but you haven't shown your value enough, not just in your brand in itself before getting on the call, but even as you're speaking to them. You haven't shown that you are worth the money, that what you're offering to them, like, yeah, I kind of want it, I kind of need it, but the value has not been put in their court enough to actually get them to say yes to you. Okay, so that means making sure that whatever your messaging is, that it is clear and is clearly addressing the needs and pain points of that audience. Okay, and that you also are posting reviews and other aspects of people saying how they valued you. The other aspect is being consistent. That means regularly posting, okay, regularly engaging with individuals, going to networking. Consistency is the name of the game. Sometimes you're so close to that breakthrough you're looking for and you've fallen off because you just not being consistent. All right. Let me check the chat just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Hey, everyone. Hey, Joyful. Hey, Lash Cream Bakery. Nails Get Live. Welcome to the live, y'all. So just to recap once again, what do you do if you all are talking to consumers, all right, and you are looking for them to say yes, but it's clear that they're saying no, or you're getting more no's than yes? One, listen actively. You should have already researched your audience and understood them. You should have already built credibility online with your platform. Now you're listening actively. Hear what the real concern is. What is the underlying fear that they are potentially not addressing? And then you need to speak directly to that. Have success stories with yourself, but also other people. Then from there, all right, you all need to ensure, okay, you've listened to whatever it is that they're saying. All right, you want to reframe everything, give evidence to what it is that they're talking about. Hey, Normand. Okay. And you want to make sure you're doing these things on a regular basis. Being told no is part of the game. I want to make that clear. Being told no is part of the game. Everyone is told no at some point. Build thicker skin. If at first you don't succeed, what Aaliyah said, dust yourself off and try again. You're going to be told no. You need to understand why are you being told no, and then you need to do everything in your power on your end to make those no's less likely. And that just means mastering sales and giving yourself grace, because sales is not an easy thing to do. Selling is an actual art form. Understanding your audience, knowing how to speak to that audience, the pain point, those are all aspects of dealing with objections and understanding them before they even object. So you just have everything lined up. So by the time they even try to object, oh, what, you need a payment plan? It's already right here. Oh, you're afraid of not knowing where to speak on stage. It's okay, because I already have blank set up to help you get to that point. Make it so hard for them to say no that they have to just address the baseline that most people struggle with, which is fear. It is scary to invest in yourself, especially when it costs financially. If you are watching this live and you're just like, oh my gosh, I need help with this, or oh my goodness, when it comes down to it, I'm scared to invest in myself, my first thought is going to be, whatever you're scared to do, go ahead and do it. If there's someone that you've seen that you say, I should work with them, but you haven't reached out to them yet, go ahead and reach out. The worst that can happen is what? Okay. If for whatever reason you're thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, I need help with the actual part of pitching myself or working on my brand or thinking up the right words, well, congratulations, you're in the right place. This is why here at Pitch It, we have our coaching, all right, that goes on not only group coaching, but one-on-one coaching as well. So I want you all to go to the link in my bio or go to pitchit365.com and book your free consultation with me. I repeat, your free consultation. Let's talk about what's going on with you and your business and why you're not seeing the revenue that you're supposed to, or having the following that you're supposed to. All right. I want to thank you all for joining me. Okay. Yes, it is very scary. It can be. It can be. And we all struggle with that. I struggle with that sometimes myself. It's a human feeling. But the good thing about fear is that it's something new to accomplish. It's not that you can't do it. It's that you haven't done it yet. All right. So, as always, I'm your favorite public speaking and branded coach, LaShow, having come at you with another great tip of the week. Thank you for joining us on Pitch It Wednesdays for this live. And I'm always open to suggestions. So do me a favor, comment under this live. What is a topic that you would like to see me discuss that I haven't discussed yet? Or DM me. What is a topic dealing with public speaking and branding that I haven't discussed that you would like me to discuss? And even if it's outside of my zone of genius, because I'm very transparent, I will bring somebody on. Okay, I will bring somebody on. I can do, I gotta watch this replay. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm streaming from Restream on multiple platforms, sometimes with Instagram. For those who are watching on Instagram, it gets a little wonky, so I'm gonna have to download it and post it that way. But you can watch the replay there or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm streaming on there right now as well. Everything is Pitch It 365. All right. So with that being said, I will see you all next time. Happy Wednesday, hump day. Y'all continue to have a successful week. And of course, I'll see you in my consultations, right? Right.